Developing now, police in Stewart are looking for clues and answers after a body was found in a pond yesterday. Plus, Florida is preparing for the threat of Ebola, what the CDC is offering our state in case someone does test positive. All that and more, but first, a check on your Sunday forecast with meteorologist Tyler Malden.
Well, thank you, Katie, and good morning to everyone at home. Blue skies, that's all we're dealing with at the moment. Hardly even a cloud, and it feels pretty nice outside, too. Temperatures are in the 50s and 60s from the Treasure Coast out here to Lake Okeechobee. The 60s and 70s down here across the Palm Beaches, Live Viper 5 Max. It is dry. It's going to be dry for the rest of today, too, so you don't need the rain gear, but here's what you will need as you leave home. Sunglasses, sunscreen, and water. It's going to be a phenomenal day to get to the beach. Katie?
Thanks, Tyler. Let's turn things now to a developing story out of Boca Raton, where one man had to be rushed to the hospital yesterday after his apartment caught fire. It happened on Southwest 2nd Avenue near West Camino Real and South Dixie Highway. Rescuers had to pull the unconscious victim out of the apartment. No word yet on his condition. Investigators believe the fire started in one of the bedrooms near a mattress. And police are looking for answers in Stewart this morning after a woman's body was found in a pond yesterday. The woman, police tell us, was 58-year-old Deborah Machesko. She was found at the Crossing Apartments near Southeast Indian Street and Canner Highway. An autopsy will be performed. Covering news across America now, where more Ebola scares are popping up. The latest happened yesterday as an emergency landing had to take place in Oklahoma. The American Airlines flight was on its way to Dallas from Hartford, Connecticut, when it was diverted to Tulsa after what's being described as a medical emergency.
A conversation, we believe, between the pilots and the tower, and somewhere in that conversation, we believe the word Ebola was used. Or Ebola-like symptoms.
Passengers had to wait while fire and hazmat crews responded. They were able to determine what the man was suffering from, complications from a prior surgery, and was not displaying symptoms of Ebola. After it was determined that the man was not contagious, the plane took off for its original destination. Meanwhile, President Barack Obama is reassuring the public that everything is being done to prevent the spread of this disease. The president stressed in his weekly address that the nation is moving quickly to track and monitor anyone who may have been in contact with someone showing symptoms. Meanwhile, 2 nurses infected by a patient at a Dallas hospital continue to recover after being moved to specialized treatment facilities. 75 of their co-workers are self-monitoring, and there is concern more employees could end up sick. And the Centers for Disease Control has granted some of Governor Rick Scott's requests to keep Florida ahead of the Ebola threat. The governor announcing the CDC has agreed to hold a conference call with Florida hospitals tomorrow afternoon. There's also been a preliminarily approved redirection of more than $7 million in grants to buy protective equipment and supplies. However, the CDC has not granted requests for additional Ebola testing kits or for notification and monitoring of all passengers on a plane that landed in Fort Lauderdale that previously carried an Ebola patient. But you shouldn't panic, as we could be one step closer to a cure. Canada is getting ready to send hundreds of doses of an experimental Ebola vaccine to the World Health Organization. The Canadian government will ship 800 doses of the experimental vaccine to the WHO, which will decide how to distribute and use it. The vaccine is undergoing clinical trials at Walter Reed Army Institute of Research in Silver Spring, Maryland. The first shipment of the vaccine is scheduled to leave tomorrow. And there may be some answers in the ongoing search for the University of Virginia student who went missing last month. Police stated yesterday that they have found remains not far from where Hannah Graham disappeared. Arthur Neville has the story.
Charlottesville police say human remains have been found in the search for Hannah Graham, but further forensic tests need to be done before they can definitively confirm they have found the missing college student. Graham has been missing since September 13th. She was last seen in Charlottesville's downtown mall area. Police released surveillance footage of her leaving a bar and a man following her. Police later arrested that man, 32-year-old Jesse Leroy.
And police in Pennsylvania have a new lead in the search for the man suspected of killing a state trooper. A woman claims she saw Eric Freen dressed in black with his face covered in mud carrying a gun in Monroe County. Freen is accused of fatally shooting one trooper and wounding another in an ambush back in September. And new reports out of Ferguson, Missouri on the officer's point of view in the death of teenager Michael Brown. According to the New York Times, Officer Darren Wilson says he was trying to get out of his vehicle when Brown shoved him back in and tried to grab his gun. Brown's blood was found on the gun, Wilson's uniform, and in the car. The teen's death back in August has set off outrage and protests in Missouri. Covering more news across Florida, where an 8-year-old boy from Lauderhill lost his fingers while playing with illegal fireworks. The boy's family heard a loud explosion and ran outside to see what was going on. That's when they say they saw the boy holding his hand while extremely upset. Police are trying to find out how the boy was able to get the illegal fireworks. And a woman living in Lakeland has made a disturbing discovery just by turning on the TV. Investigators say the woman was changing the input on her living room television when a computer screen popped up, and that screen showed a live feed to her bedroom. Police say the cameras were hidden so well you would never find these tiny pinhole cameras with the naked eye. Police arrested the man they say is responsible. He works for a tech company. Happening today, Mars may be in for a close call as a rare comet is scheduled to come extremely close to the red planet. Comet Siding Spring's journey took 1 million years to reach Mars. It will pass the planet from about 88,000 miles away, which is only a third of the distance between the Earth and the Moon. This will provide a unique opportunity to see the comet via NASA satellites and rovers on Mars.
Well, we have got our spacecraft in orbit such that they'll be on the other side of the planet at the most dangerous part, which is when Mars will pass just a little bit by the dust tail. But other than that, they'll be safe. We'll be looking at the comet.
That'll be a great show. Well, NASA employees add that the comet won't come anywhere near our planet. That's some good news there. It's 8:48. Coming up, riot crews are out in full force in Keene, New Hampshire. We'll tell you what sparked the riots that have left 30 people injured and 12 people behind bars. Plus, 3 daycare workers are all out of a job this morning for acting in a way that will have parents cringe. And do you like us on Facebook? We're always sharing breaking news, the latest weather, and interesting stories you'll want to share with your family and friends. Just go onto Facebook and search for WPTV News Channel 5.